Hello. Hi. Good morning. Hello. Afternoon now. Well, we'll be in 3 minutes. I just thought I'd do a little uh video this morning and show you just a few things. Um, and I'm going to wait for just a minute to see if somebody wants to pop in the chat channel with me. And I was cleaning my desk off a little bit. And I got a few things I don't know what to do with yet, but I'm working on it. I don't know what to do with these guys. But I'm gonna put a rubber band around them. I stick things in the envelopes, and then I put the envelopes, and then they accumulate. And I don't suppose anybody else does anything like that. Hi, Barb. Good morning. It's going to be afternoon in 2 minutes. I'm going to do a video this morning on Tanya will be on here in an hour, so it's not going to be a very long video. You know, it's amazing how time flies when you're having fun doing these things. Hi, Nancy. Good morning, honey. These videos, you know, you stay on, you think, oh, I'll be off in an hour. Well, next thing you know, it's two and a half hours later. Hi, Terry. I'm going to do a little quick video before Tanya comes on. She'll be on in an hour. And I've got me some good coffee this morning. Good morning, Eva. We just started. Are you all participating in Tanya's toilet paper project, toilet roll or paper towel roll project? Have you all seen any of those? Well, it's not really an advertisement, but it's a little commercial for it. She's going to do a project with used paper towel rolls this size, and I've already got mine gessoed. Do you hear that crying in the background? Do you hear that? Is it loud enough? That's my kitty cat. I've offered to put her out 2 times, and she's still crying at me. Now, I wonder what she wants. A little treat? Hi, Christy. Yes. I think Tanya said she was going to have like 10, and I've got 8. And mine are not all the same size, but they're almost the same size. So I thought I would just alter them. Big, little, big, little, big, little. And it's going to be some kind of a little booklet. They're under the advertisement where she was talking about saving them. She linked 3 videos. Under that video, there was 3 videos. Hi, Kim. Good morning, hon. And these videos, if you haven't watched them, oh, you've got to watch them. At least watch the first one. They're not very long. They do like a speed through on them. But that little video talks about how you put a little piece of paper here on the end of this one, and you fold it, and then you punch 2 holes, and then you sew it together or put rings in it, and it turns out it's going to be like a little booklet. And then the inside of your toilet paper roll is going to be a place for a tag to come out. it'll be a tag like this. So it's real cute. And the 3 videos show different ways of decorating your toilet paper rolls. And there are other videos on YouTube besides just those 3. But she picked out 3 various different ones that show 3 different ways of making a little booklet out of these little guys. And I can't go forward any further until she tells us which way she's going to do hers, because I want to do mine like hers. One girl used a ring, like a little binding rings, those bookbinder rings, and then one girl used hole punches and did a Coptic stitch. So anyway, I was going to just sort of hang out and I got this far on it, and she's going to work on them today. There's my kitty cat crying again. My kitty cat won't let me catch her, but if she does, I'll show her to you. If she lets me touch her. No, you're not going to let me touch you. Oh, you are. Here. You go out. Here. Go. Go. Go out. All right. She decided to go out. Outside she goes. Outside she goes. She's crying too much. I don't let her cry very often. Let her out. Hi, Marianne. Good morning. It's 12:04. It's afternoon. I'm going to start. Tanya's going to be coming on here, and I want y'all to go over to Tanya's house and watch her do a craft project today. The other day, I showed you all some catalogs, and I told you to order them for free. You can order them online, and you get all these cute, images out of them. And I use these images on my ATC cards. They're kind of old-fashioned, vintage-looking items in this catalog, and it's a Victorian Trading Company. Yeah, Cheryl, we did spring forward last night, so hi, Cheryl. And this was the other catalog I like. It's kind of my favorite. It's got vintage-looking Celtic pictures that you can cut out, and you can use these like on your ATCs or in your artwork. See, that would be a fun little art page or art card. And I liked it with all the dresses. And Mary Autier, Marydale would like that one because all the women have different patterns on their dresses. I ought to cut that out and put that in her bag. I've got a little envelope I've started with her name on it. So I'm going to use that one right away. But anyway, I got some new catalogs, and I got this one. It's called Bits and Pieces. And this one's garden items, things that you'd put in the garden. Some of them are garden items, like these here, except for the kite. That's a beach item or a backyard item. But some of these are like real funny looking. I think that'd be funny on a card or something. Whatever you might need. But there's some other cute ones too. There's an owl and rabbits and butterflies. So this is another catalog, and it's free. And you can order this catalog, and then you'd have lots of ATC pictures, and you wouldn't have to store them anywhere. You just leave them in the magazine till you're ready for them. Hi, Pat. Hi, Malaya. Hi, sweetie. I was watching some of your videos last night. I don't remember which ones, but how's everybody doing this morning? Where, please? Where what? Where what, Marianne? Anyway, if any of you are, I hope you're all taking notes. If you're not, holler at me which ones you don't have, and I'll show you the title again, and then you can just go online and order these catalogs. They're free, and then they're kind of more like catalogs and magazines, and you order them online. You go online to their website and request a catalog, and they'll send you this catalog for free, and you've got free pictures to use on your ATCs and things. And some of them are really cute and funny, and like that peacock bird cage, that and the clock, that would be awesome on an ATC. Well, Christy, I've got this one's a new one. If you want another one, and I've got more. Look at this one. This one is a movie catalog, and I take and I cut out like like old Robert Mitchum. He's an actor. I'd cut him out and put him on something vintage. And I would take like some of the old movies. Um, these are, are DVD movies, but you could cut this square out and put it on an ATC. Um, but I tell you, as far as all of these different kind of movies, I don't go for the horror movies. I go for the Doris Day and the the happier ones, um, the family style movies. Uh, but some of these old movies, you all may have a favorite movie, or you saw this and you liked it, and you order them online. Um, at the different titles where I'm showing you from. And then I have another one that is music. And this one, I can give you the .com number, or the you go online, order online 24/7 www.c I'm sorry, www.ccmusic.com is this one. Okay, the bits and pieces. I'll show it to you. But you could take, and like if you have a favorite, if you like Tom T. Hall, you could put him on as ACT, or some of your other, and every month they'll send you a new catalog, but it won't be his picture, it'll be Roger Miller's picture. They kind of alternate the pictures. And the bits and pieces is a new garden one that I just got yesterday, and it is bitsandpieces.com. Simple, bitsandpieces.com. Go to that website on your internet, and you will see this catalog online. But there is somewhere in that up there will be to request a catalog, and they'll mail you a catalog for free. And if they want to charge you, I won't pay for it. But I got all these for free. So I'll go through and cut out some of these record deals, record pictures. Mainly not so many. I might, two, maybe a half a dozen. I may not like them all, but they're free. you know, and like right now the big Queen movie is out, the Rhapsody, and I bet you this picture of Queen is on here. Let's see if I can find it, because it's so popular. People are probably going out buying all the Queen albums. Yeah, I'm just saying. Just saying. But this just some ideas of where you can get some free cutouts. Okay, I can leave the links. I'll try. Well, Janet. Oh, Janet. Oh man. Yes. I will. I did that yesterday for the first time, Janet. I learned how to do that. I put, actually, I knew how to type in the description, but I don't know how to make it a link. Oh, okay. I'm going to write that one down, Malaya. She said that there's another catalog that she likes. And it's an unusual name, but I can copy it. TOS. Tus, Tus, Toscano. To Toscano. Okay, I'll try to order it, Malaya. And it's got characters of statues and pictures and things. Okay. I'll go online and order that one after a while. Okay. I will put the catalog names in the description if you can't write them down now. And all you have to do is type that in on your Google line, and then you can see the catalog company, and you just pick. You don't have to worry about the www part. Hi, Holly. So anyway, for those of you who just came in, a few more came in. I was showing you these new catalogs that I got, along with the old ones that I showed you the other day, and they're really just cute to clip up and use. And then this is another catalog that I use, and it can be any kind of a woman's catalog, but Woman Within. And this one I use it for the women. I'm not going to use anything on this page unless I'm going to do some kind of a paper doll. If I'm making a paper doll or something and I need clothes for, and I'm making a funny person, but I would mostly be using like her face on an ATC power card or something. And I used to do that not too long ago. I made some cards. Of course, I don't know where they are right now. I must have given them all out. But they were powerful women. And I put women on all my cards. And I put an encouraging word like creative or something power. And they were encouraging words. But anyway, I like using the women's catalog because I like the women's faces. You know, I don't order out of it. I just use it for the people. There's a lot of people in the back, and I use them for artwork. But I will list all of these catalogs. Okay, Eva, good. You'll like it. My mom gave me this magazine yesterday, and it's cute. It's got a lot of cute garden things in it and whimsical things, and look at those little doggies. Those would be so cute on a ATC card or something. You're welcome. Hello to everybody who's come in. I think I've said hello to everybody. If I have not, I'm saying it now. So anyway, that was the first thing on my list this morning to do, and I'll list them. I'm going to list some of the old ones that I showed you the other day too, because I use this watch catalog all the time, and I've used this wig catalog quite a bit because they've got real pretty faces and hair. Okay, I'll do that before we end, and I'll set it over here in front of my keyboard so I won't forget it. How about that? And I'm going to order this one that Malia gave me. So anyway, Tanya's going to be working on her toilet paper rolls today, I think. Or is she going to do this Tuesday night? Does anybody remember? She might be doing this one Tuesday night. But I can also show you what I have done in Tanya's class that she has on Sundays. And she'll be on here in about 45 minutes. So I'll show you my things real quick. I put them all together so I wouldn't lose them. But every week she does something different to her junk journal. And I just like saying junk journal. I think it's fun to say. This was a secret pocket. And since I put flowers on it, I made it my secret garden. And it was the bottom part of a lunch bag. And you open it up and you can put some things in there. And I put a little bit of some tags. And see, these tags here, they need images on them. They need images. So I'll take one of my new catalogs, this one here, and find me a little image to put in it, to put on it. See what I can find. I like roosters. I like roosters. See, I just found me a little image. I'm going to fussy cut them out. Try to cut his little head out with all of his little cockatoo doodling things. And then his tail feathers should go fast. Faster, faster, faster. And I'll just do a little zigzag here on these guys. Tail feathers. And there we go. There's one little image, and looky there. Won't he look cute right there? Yes, ma'am, I think so. Thanks, Zoe. Thank you, honey. I think I do pretty good with scissors. I learned at a very young age how to use scissors. My mama was an art teacher in school. She taught elementary, and I guess with 5 children, you learn a certain amount of craft to keep your children busy. And she was a den mother. She was Cub Scout den mother. And so she had to come up with ideas all the time for those kids. And my brothers were in Boy Scouts, my older brothers, I was the youngest. So guess who got to sit with the Cub Scouts? So I learned young, pick them young and train them right. That's what my mama did with me. I tagged along. And it was at our house, so why not? Why not? There we go. He looks good on there. So I'm just decorating that little thing up. See? And then I can put him right back into my little secret garden for next time. So that's what that little pocket's all about. And then it folds, it's the bottom part of the lunch bag. So when you fold it down, it folds over, and then it was cut off. And we decorated the top of it with security envelopes and a little bit of scrapbooking paper. And the closure, guess what that is? It's a pop tab. She had us collect these pop tabs, and she says, we're going to use them in our art. And I said, what in the world are we going to do with all these guys? I said, what are we going to do with all these guys? And some of these came off of my cat food cans, and some of them came off of vegetables, and some of them came off of soda pop. I don't drink soda pop very much anymore, very little anymore. And these red ones came off of my tomato cans I bought. And then I had to take a flat pair of needle nose pliers and smooth that little rough part all down a little bit. Just keep squeezing it until it was smooth, so it doesn't snag your finger. But anyway, I was saving these. I'm not saving them anymore. I think I've got enough. So Tanya is starting to incorporating them into our journals, and then this little ribbon can tie it shut with a bow to keep your pocket from flying open, I guess, when you turn the page. So you could tie a little bow. And if you ask Tanya to show you hers, she will. She'll show it to you. So anyway, this is just a piece of brown paper bag. The background is just brown paper bag, grocery bag. And I made a square. And then we made another little art project another time. And it was a card. And when you open it up, it's a little village interacting card. Did anybody else do this one? Is anybody else following Tanya on Sundays? Janet will probably put her link in here in a minute because she's so good at that. She's my right-hand man. Okay, good, Kim. You'll like those catalogs. They'll come in handy. And then the next thing that we did was a when you close this page, we did these little flip out pockets, and they're a junk mail envelope, and Pat made one of those little villages. I thought they turned out cute. And there's 3 of them that flip out. I covered them in music paper and flowers. And these are little tuck pockets that you can put tags in, more tags or whatever, notes. It could be a little journaling thing or whatever you want to put it in your pocket. And they all flip out. These pockets flip in and flip out. Excuse me. And so I stuck those in there. And this is the back side of this page. And this whole thing will go into my junk journal. And I, like I said last week, I added this one, and so it was out drying, and that's as far as I haven't gotten it in the journal yet. And then she did this one another day, and we made these little corner pockets, and this one's being held down by a paper clip, and you open it up, and it's a little journal spot, and it's a used security envelope. So it didn't cost me a thing. So I put all these little triangles in one corner, and I put my paper clip there, and it holds it down. And she had us make this heart one, and it's a corner pocket. And I put a button on my corner, on mine. I sewed a button on it and put another little string with a little tiny brad. It's a little brad. And I put my string around it, and I added a dot of glue to hold it. But then this little heart, it opens up into a corner pocket. And you can see the red stitch. That's holding the red button. And I also added a dot of glue. Now, she used plain paper instead of music paper so that you could use it to write on. But I can put a little note in here and fold it up and put it in there if I need to write something. Everybody's is different, and it makes it unique that way. So anyway, that was my little corner thing she did one day. And this is the top part of this other pocket, the bottom part, and this is the top part of that lunch bag. So it opens. I got some stuff we made. It opens, and I'm going to make it a pocket, and I'm going to close the bottom and glue it down. And when I put it in the journal, these are just loose pages that will go into my junk journal. And these were just some scrappy things that we had laying around that day, and I just glued them on there for decorations. So this is the top part of the bag right there, and I'm going to open it up and put things inside of it. And then she had us made this little tiny book, and this is a piece of newspaper. That was just a piece of newspaper, and I had painted on it and grunged it up, and then it turned out to be a little booklet. And it was also leftover envelopes, junk mail, paper. Florida Farm Bureau, that's our insurance. So these were, mostly white part of the envelope, and you can use this as a little journaling book. And I had this inside the bag, but I will glue the bottom part down when it goes in the book. And then we had enough to make a tag, and this was junk mail. It was that hard stock that you get with some advertising on it. And I just put some painty papers and scrappies, and I drew a bird on it. This was from a stencil I had, and I've got one of her can tags, pull tags on the top of it, and I glued it. I glued it on with the hot glue gun so that it wouldn't come off, and I just ripped it. But I also have it tied on with this little ribbon. And this is just a little scrap piece of ribbon. It's not real ribbon. It's the back part of some lace I think I used. And then I just stamped, and we cut out some clocks for something. And I had a clock stamp. So that's what we did with that. And this little tag here is a book scrap paper tag, and these go in the little bag there. And these are some of the things that we did in Tanya's art. Okay, so she'll be on here in about a half hour, Tanya will, and if any of you'd like to go and watch her, she's real, she goes nice and slow so you can follow her, and if you can't, if you're not ready, she won't go on and leave you. She'll wait on you and show you exactly, and if you can't figure how to do it, she'll show it to you again. If you can't, and she does, I'm always saying, now how did you fold that again? Let me see, because sometimes our words aren't the same as when we see it done. Now this little girl here, I made her out of some painty papers that I had. uh, this is just some papers that I had painted, and I painted them metallic blue on both sides, and I was going to make some tags, and I ended up making this little girl, and I used one, I think I used just one, and she was painted in a light blue metallic, and I cut her arms out, and I cut her head out and her legs out, and I punched holes in her in the shoulders and the knees, and I put in eyelets. And I haven't mastered my eyelet maker yet, and I punched them too tight. But if they weren't so tight, you should be able to move her arms. If I had used brads, the brads wouldn't have been tight, and she would be more interacting. But I made her more for a bookmark anyway, so she's, not really and you'd have to fold one arm in to get her in the book. And then I just used, I punched holes in her head and gave her some rag doll hair. And this is just embroidery thread, embossing thread, embroidery. So I did her, and if you all want to make her someday, I'll be glad to show you. She's real easy to do, and I made these. I painted them on both sides. I just sat here and painted a piece of. It feels like wallpaper because it's that kind of thickness, because it's soft, but it's thick. So I would definitely use some kind of cardstock or heavy cardstock junk mail or something, paint it on both sides. And you can use different colors if you want, or if you want to dress her, you can, you can make her, put her a little bit of lace on her. That'd be cute to put a little bit of lace on her. Let's see if I got some lace. We can do that now. Yes, we can. That'd be cute. We'll do that now. I've got some tacky glue right here. You could make her a little apron or something. And you could do it out of cardstock, scrapbook paper. See, I give her a little bit of a belt. You'd like to make one for a granddaughter? Well, it's so simple. I didn't use a pattern. I just cut it all by hand. I had this piece of paper, so you can make it as big as you want or as little as you want. And I started out with these rectangle squares, and all I did was cut the corners. So let's see what I can show you. Like, you've got a piece of scrapbook paper, and if you want, you can glue another piece of scrapbook paper on the back side. We can do that. I'm going to use a different collar on the back on one side, and we'll make a doll this size. It won't take very long. So because I've got her shoulders and her knees going up, I'm not going to glue. Oops, lost her belt. I'm not going to glue just up to an inch from the top and the bottom. I got glue on my fingers and her belt won't stay. So let's cut this in half, and we can make two out of this one. We don't have to make her as fat either. I'll make her just a little bit thinner. So you see, there's so many variations that, you know, there's no right or wrong, so to speak. I just trimmed the edges up so that there's no white showing on either side. And I'm just going to glue it in the middle, right there. I'll just put a little bit of glue just to hold her together, like that. I didn't glue anything here or here yet. I want the corners kind of open yet, because we're going to insert her legs, her knees, and her her shoulders. So I got it tacked together. And we can save this paper for later. And I used a vanilla file folder. I had some scrap file folders up here that I took out of another book that I had, or I had used them for something. You know, they had pockets in them. And so these are kind of recycled. I'm recycling them. But this shade of vanilla is the perfect size or color for flesh. Okay, so I just needed a piece of this color. So you could use any kind of neutral color cardstock. And I'm going to draw my arms and legs in a dark pen so that you can see how I did it. There's no rocket science to it, okay? So if this is going to be my girl, I'm going to take and cut her shoulders and round the corner, just like that. Now, if you can't round the corner, then you might find something that already has that curvy, you know, and you can use that as a pattern if you want. But I just eyeball it. And I just kind of go real easy and start making a wheel and stop when it gets straight. If you have to have, some people have those corner punches, you know, to round the corners, and you can do that. And you can see it's a little imperfected. It's not perfect. It doesn't look, it looks a little, it's not exact, but I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. So there's the four corners. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a head. And here's my little jar of pull tabs. And looky, there's a lid. That would be okay for her head. Yes, you can use brads or eyelets, either one. And if you don't have brads or eyelets, we can glue them in there. You can glue her arms in. And you can maybe, if you want to draw it by hand, if you want that little decoration, but you don't have to have that there. You could decorate her neck up and put a little decoration there. Um, so don't worry about the brads or the circles if you don't have them. But you still want to just put the glue in the middle until we get the arms in the middle of the papers. Um, we're going to glue them down. Okay, we'll glue them down. So I'm going to need a head. So I'm just going to draw a circle around my lid. That's going to be her head. And I might, you could use two of them together if you want the head thicker than this piece. But this is pretty thick, so I'll leave it. I'll leave it. And then the arms. So her arms and her legs are kind of the same. And you'll need two arms and two legs. And this is how I made her arms and her legs. I went like this, and I made a curve. It's like those, kind of like a popsicle stick, but it's a little bit, maybe a little bit wider than a regular popsicle stick. But you need 4 of those. And the feet are just like that. The feet are just like that. And the hands have a little thumb. So I'm going to need 2 of these. And I'm going to need 2 hands. And I'll make a little thumb. And then I'll make the other part of the mitten style hand. And I'll need 2 of these for the hands. It's no big deal. And they don't have to be perfect. And then you're just going to cut 2 of these out and 2 of these out and 1 of these out. Now, if I was a smart woman, I would have cut 2 of them out by folding it. Hindsight. Nobody does anything like that, right? You guys don't do that, do you? You do it the easy way, I hope. Whatever's easiest for you. And they don't have to be perfect. And I didn't measure. And you see, as you can see, these arms are going to be a little longer than what I want. And I'll show you what I'll do. I'll cut her shoulder down a little bit. And technically, this side doesn't have to be curved because it's going to be hidden. So her arms are a little longer. Well, she could have longer arms. She can afford to have longer arms, so I'll leave them. So there's her thumbs. Kind of like a little mitten. So you could have her thumbs going out or in. It doesn't matter. Beside her, she could be standing with her hands like this or with her hands like this. So you can put one out, one in if you want. So what we'll do is we can put them in between the papers, if I can get it open. And they're going to go in there. And so I'll need to add just a little bit more glue. And I'm not using a whole lot of glue. Just a little to hold her down. And then I can glue this shoulder. Go ahead and glue that shoulder down. Now I'm gluing it down so these arms are not going to be moving. Now if you use the brads, then then they can move. Then you wouldn't use glue. Does that make it clear? So I'll tell you what, I'll glue one and I'll use a brad in the other. How about that? Let's see if I can find a brad. I've got some. I've got some. I have to dig for them though. And if I'm lucky, I won't have a craft lunch. You all gonna like this little box here. You're gonna want to see more of this little box. I'm hunting for a brad. Here we go. Ooh, I got all kinds of little goodies in here. All kinds of little goodies. Here's my brads. I'll show you that another day. I won't have time today. I've got 10 minutes. Now, and another thing I can show you someday is, see how pretty that brad is? That's just a regular old, I'm not sorry, not old. It was a brand new brad that I bought that was kind of like a copper goldish color, like that. And I had this nail polish. And look what color I made my brad. So, excuse me. I don't know where that came from. So anyway, you can take your regular solid gold brads and turn them into collared brads by just nail polish. We can do that one day. I'll show you how I make my brads. So anyway, I want 4 brads to go on my colored paper. And because we don't have a lot of time, I'm just going to pick 4 gold ones that are just plain, because those are the first ones I saw. I got some other little doodads in here. Okay. So you don't have to buy expensive things. I think I got these at the office supplies, where in Walmart probably. So you're going to take your hole puncher and you're going to make a hole. Now this shoulder, I glued this shoulder down so this arm won't be moving. But this shoulder is not glued, so it'll be interactive. And I'll take and put a hole in the inner shoulder and in the shoulder of her dress, and it goes between the papers, and you kind of line the holes up, and then you could put your brad in. So this will be the back side. So you could still put a brad in this other shoulder even though it's glued down. And we can change it if you want the stripes to be the front or the back. Let's put the flowers in the front. Make that the front of her. We can do that. Okay. So this one, she can wave to you. Hi. Hello. Okay. I got to cut one more leg. And then I've got to cut her head out. Okay. So her head is going to be, this is why I used two, because I put her head on, one on the front and one on the back. So I did cut out two of these. And I'm going to be, you cut it out by hand, but I just happen to have a little hole puncher here. And it's scalloped. And it'll make a cute face. So I'm going to use it real quick since we're in a hurry, because we're going to go over and see Tanya. And I'm just going to take and put some glue on her face. And I'm going to lay it down on the paper, on my thing, and get the other half ready. And I'm going to lay the dress on the bottom portion of her head. Just a fourth maybe, or an eighth. It's just the lower part of her head. And then you're going to lay the other half on top of that and sandwich her dress. Does that make sense? I haven't been really watching the chat because I'm trying to get this done before Tanya comes on. We got a few minutes here, okay? So now I'm going to glue her feet in, her legs. And as you can see, they're not quite the same size. So all I have to do is stick it up a little higher. And you could do the same thing with your brads. So I'm going to make them the same size so she won't walk lopsided. So I'm going to put 2 holes down here for her knees. And 2 holes in here for her knees. I cut those out at the same time. And then we got 2 more brads right here. And we line them holes up. Put the brad in. Put this other knee in. She's had knee replacements. Has anybody ever had a knee replacement? That's a big fat surgery. But I've heard that you can walk better after knee surgery. So there she is. Hi. Hi, everybody. And then the rest of our sample, the only thing black on her is her shoes. And I gave her some Mary Jane shoes. So all I did was do a little buckle across the top of her foot that arches that way. And then I did covered her toes with the tip of her black patent shoes. And then I just collared that in. So you got a buckle and her toes. And we can color that in later. And then her hair, I made I don't know, 5 little holes from your hole punch. Now this hole punch is a little smaller hole punch. It's not real big. So if you have a bigger hole punch, you won't be able to put as many because it's bigger. And you could use a pointy tool like an awl, if you have a pointy tool, to make your holes if you want your holes smaller. Or a needle. A needle would go through it, like an embroidery needle. So I'll just make a couple little holes, and then all I have to do is tie some hair on her. And you can use any color. You could do with the brown, or you could go with a yellow, blonde, or neutral, or you can go with something that matches her dress. Okay? And you could give her longer hair if you've got a granddaughter with longer hair. Give her longer hair, and if you wanted to, you could pull it to the back and braid it down the back. If she's got long hair. Oh yes, I use my coupons whenever I go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's. If they have a coupon online, I always print it out before I go. Yep. Okay, now Tanya's getting ready to come on. Tanya McGuire is now live. So let's all go over and and pop in on Tanya and say, "Hi Tanya, we're all ready." She's going to be so surprised to see everybody jumping in all at once. She'll be flabbergasted. So everybody go to Tanya. Tanya McGuire. If you haven't been to her room before, we want you to go over there now. There's her name, Tanya McGuire. If you have to do a little search for her name, and she will be live. Okay? I'm going to go over there too, so I'm going to play along. So I'll see you over there. Thank you for coming over to see me this morning first. Yeah, you can leave me a thumbs up if you want to. Okay. We'll see you at Tanya's then. I'm coming over now. I'm disconnecting. Okay. Bye-bye.